Welcome to our podcast. More intelligence, more sorrow.
Sometimes being smart doesn't make life better. It just makes everything more complicated. You think a lot, even when you don't want to. Your brain keeps running, like it has something to prove. You walk into a room, and before you even sit down, you've already noticed who's upset, who's pretending, who doesn't want to be there. You hear someone say something simple, but your mind looks for a hidden meaning. You wonder, were they serious? Were they joking? Did they mean more than what they said? You wish you could stop, but it keeps going, thinking about things that already passed, worrying about things that haven't even happened. And deep down, you're tired, not from the world, but from your own thoughts. You try to relax, but even rest feels like work, because your mind won't let you just be. You lie in bed, and suddenly you remember something you said 3 years ago, and you wonder if it made someone think less of you. You reply to a message, then read it over and over again, wondering if you sounded too cold, too soft, too strange. And sometimes you look at people who seem so carefree, and you wonder what it feels like to not overthink every little thing, to just speak without replaying it, to just feel without needing to explain it, to just live without analyzing every single part of it. But your brain keeps going. It sees a look and asks what it means. It hears silence and fills it with fear. And even when nothing's wrong, you still feel like something is about to go wrong, like you missed a sign, like you should prepare for something bad. Even when everything is fine, people think you're just quiet or serious. But inside, you're busy all the time, thinking, measuring, checking, doubting. It's not that you want to be this way. You just don't know how to stop. Sometimes you try to act like you don't notice, like you didn't catch that weird look or that strange pause. You try to let it go, but it still stays with you. Even when you're smiling, you're still working things out in your head, like two lives happening at once. The one everyone sees, and the one happening silently inside you. And you've learned to hide it well. You know when to nod, when to laugh, when to pretend you're not thinking about something completely different. You watch people laugh without hesitation, and you wonder what it's like to feel that light, to not carry 100 thoughts in the middle of one small moment. You don't mean to be distant, but sometimes you're not fully here because your thoughts are always somewhere else, running ahead or running back. You notice when someone's voice changes, when their eyes drop for just a second. You catch it, even if they don't mean you to, and now it's yours. Another thing to carry, another puzzle your brain won't stop trying to solve. You try to tell yourself, not everything needs a reason. Not every silence is a message. But deep down, you don't really believe that, because so often, you've been right. It's strange how hard it is to explain, because on the outside, everything looks normal. You go to work, you meet friends, you make jokes. You say, I'm fine, and most people believe it. But inside, you're carrying a storm. Thoughts you can't slow down, questions that never really stop, layers of feelings stacked on top of each other. And no one really sees that. Sometimes you wish someone would ask, not just how are you, but what are you thinking right now? And mean it, really mean it. But you've learned that most people don't want the long answer. They want the simple one, the easy one, the version of you that doesn't go too deep, because deep makes people uncomfortable. So you keep it in, and the more you keep it in, the heavier it gets, not because you're broken, but because you're full of observations, memories, questions, truths you've noticed but can't say out loud. You walk through life with all this extra weight, and sometimes you wonder how others seem to move so lightly, like they're not carrying anything at all. Maybe they are, maybe they're just better at hiding it. Or maybe they don't think the way you do, don't feel as much, don't see as much, and that's why they're able to rest. And you're not. Some days, you start to wonder if there's a way to make it quieter inside your mind, not by turning it off, 'cause you know that's not possible, but maybe by making space. You learn to write things down, Not because journaling solves everything, but because seeing your thoughts on paper makes them feel less loud. You stop expecting people to always understand and start finding peace in small things. The way sunlight hits your wall in the morning, the sound of rain that doesn't ask you to respond, the feeling of warm tea in your hand. Simple things that don't need to be analyzed. Only noticed, you begin to give yourself permission to not answer every thought, to let some questions stay open, to not chase every what if until it burns you out. You learn to step outside for no reason, not to solve anything, just to breathe. You listen to music, not for the lyrics, but for the way it holds you when nothing else does, and you start to accept that your mind might always be busy, but it doesn't always have to be in control, that you can watch your thoughts without following all of them, that not every idea deserves your energy, not every fear deserves your future. You begin to understand that stillness isn't the absence of thought. It's the decision to not let thought pull you away from where you are. You start to notice how much energy you've been spending on trying to make everything make sense, and how little peace it's actually brought you. You stop trying to fix things that aren't broken. You stop looking for meaning in every little detail, because you know, some things simply are, and that's enough. You begin to let go of the need to be right all the time, to always have the answer, because you realize it's okay not to know everything. You stop forcing your thoughts into boxes, start letting them wander. And when they wander too far, you let them come back when they're ready. You find moments of silence more and more comforting, not because there's nothing going on, but because you're finally giving yourself permission to just be, and you stop measuring every second of your day against the idea of perfection, because you know now there is no perfect way to think, no perfect way to feel. It's all just life, happening in its own time. And even on days when it feels like too much, when the thoughts are too loud, when the pressure feels unbearable, you need to remember that you're not alone in this. You're not the only one who feels like this, even though sometimes it might feel like you are. It's okay to feel overwhelmed, to feel like your mind is running faster than you can keep up. It's okay to want to pause, to take a break from your own thoughts. You don't have to keep solving everything at once. You don't have to be perfect. And you don't have to fix everything. Sometimes the best thing you can do is simply show up for yourself, even if it's just to sit quietly and breathe. For a moment, you are doing enough, even when it doesn't feel like it. Even when your mind tells you that you could do more, you are enough, just as you are, with all the questions, doubts, and thoughts that come with you. You've survived all the hard days, even if you haven't felt like it. And that strength, that resilience, is still inside you, waiting for you to tap into it whenever you need it. It's okay to not have all the answers right now. It's okay to let go of the need to control everything. Take it one step at a time, and remember that the journey is just as important as the destination. You're not meant to figure it all out at once. So breathe, take a moment, and trust that everything will fall into place when the time is right. There's something beautiful about letting go of the need to always understand, about embracing the uncertainty and accepting that not everything requires a reason. Sometimes life just is, and that's enough. It's easy to get caught up in wanting to know, to feel like you're constantly chasing the next answer. But the truth is, answers don't always come, and that's not a reflection of your intelligence. It's just the way life works sometimes. So what if the question remains unanswered? What if the silence stays? It's okay to sit with the unknown, to let it exist without feeling the need to fix it. It doesn't make you less capable. It doesn't make you less smart. It just means you're living, truly living, in the moment. You start to notice the peace in the pause, the calm in the uncertainty, the way your heart beats steady, even when the world feels unpredictable. And that's where you find real freedom, in not needing everything to make sense right away. And somewhere along the way, you realize that the true struggle was never in the things you couldn't control, but in the pressure you put on yourself, to always have an answer, to always know what's next, to always be better. But what if the key to feeling lighter, to finding peace, wasn't about solving everything or moving forward faster? What if it was about simply letting go of that constant need to be more and accepting that you already are enough? just as you are. It's funny how we spend so much of our lives chasing something, chasing success, happiness, validation. And all along, we forget that everything we've been searching for has been inside us the whole time. All that restlessness, all that striving, was just our minds trying to fill a void that doesn't exist, except in the stories we tell ourselves about who we should be, instead of who we already are. Maybe the real power lies in not knowing, in not always trying to understand everything. It's like standing in front of the ocean, not needing to understand every wave, just watching it flow, knowing that it doesn't need to be explained. To be beautiful, the deeper you go into this way of thinking, the more you start to see that the moments when you stop and just let it be are the moments when you actually grow the most. Not in the moments of doing, but in the moments of being, of simply allowing yourself to exist without judgment. And that's the lesson, isn't it? That it's okay to not have all the answers. It's okay to let life unfold in its own time. And it's okay to trust that even in the quiet, even in the uncertainty, you are exactly where you need to be. The more you understand, the more you notice things others might not see. You start to pick up on people's silence, their tired eyes, the way they force a smile even when they're not okay. And sometimes it hurts to see so clearly. Because when your mind is sharp, it doesn't just solve problems, it also notices pain, hidden in small things, a short reply, a heavy sigh, a moment of hesitation. You don't just hear what people say, you hear what they don't say, and that makes it hard to rest. Because your brain keeps thinking, keeps feeling, keeps asking, why is it like this? What can I do? Will it ever stop? It's not that intelligence is bad. It's that it opens too many doors. And behind some of them are truths that are hard to carry. You begin to see how unfair the world is, how fragile people are, how much pain hides behind quiet lives. And sometimes, you wish you didn't see so much. You wish you could just enjoy things, without overthinking, without asking what if, without replaying conversations in your head over and over. But that's the weight of a mind that sees deeply. And the more you see, the more you feel, and the more you feel, the harder it is to pretend you don't. So, it's not about turning your mind off, or wishing you were someone else. Maybe it's about learning how to live with this depth, without letting it drown you. Because yes, you feel more, you see more, you carry more, but that also means you understand people in ways they can't explain. You offer comfort without needing many words. You notice beauty in things others walk past. And you love with a kind of care that comes from truly knowing. You don't have to change the way your mind works. You just have to be kind to it, guide it, and remind it that it doesn't need to fix everything. Even with all your thoughts, all your questions, and all the weight you carry, you're still allowed to rest, to laugh, to enjoy small things, without guilt. Because being intelligent doesn't mean being broken. It just means you feel the world deeply. And that, in its own quiet way, is a gift. Thank you so much for listening until the end. If you found this helpful, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs it. Take care. And see you in the next video.